Hi, this is Axel Woolley Pan, and you're watching CMS TV.
And welcome to the Communist States of America.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Are we in for a ride?
Welcome to Wednesday. Good afternoon, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. I'm amped up about politics for the first time and maybe forever. I think I'm going to surprise the audience big time today.
You survived the storm?
Barely. And I do mean that, man. I was... My mom had some surgery yesterday, and I was down in Akron waiting, like I was her ride, more or less, her ride to and from the surgery. She had some back surgery yesterday, so it was
She all right?
Yeah, she's okay. She was just here a little while ago, so she's all right. But she had this surgery, and she got done. By the time it all got done, it was about 4:15, 4:30 down in Akron.
Yeah. Oh.
So I driving home. I'm driving.
Right in the middle of it.
Dude, it's funny. As we were pulling out of the medical center and getting ready to get over there on 271, it just looked ominous. And I literally said to my mom, I was like, look at this shit that we're driving into. And she was like, yeah, this looks like it's going to be a pretty bad storm. Oh, boy, was it. Dude, I mean, we're driving. We couldn't have been driving more than 20 miles an hour at one point. There was a truck, an 18-wheeler in front of me. I could barely see its lights. Yeah. It had its hazards on, and I could barely see its lights on. And I just was like, what the hell am I into here? Then the cars just disappeared. All the cars pulled off to the side of the road and stopped. So now at one point it's just me and this guy, this truck in front of us driving. Out of nowhere, the truck swerves hard to the left. And it was because there was a full tree on the highway.
Wow.
And I was like, holy shit. And I just threw I threw the car over, and there was like a truck kind of on the side of me. I was like, I'm going to hit the gas. I'm either going to hit this truck or I'm going to hit this tree. I don't know which it is, but I'm going to hit something. And somehow, I don't even know how, but I missed both. But for me who doesn't drive, who drives a couple thousand miles a year, this was like the worst driving weather I think I've been in a decade.
It was crazy, man.
It was nuts.
Now, I got lucky because I, left work my usual time, and I got home. Well, my usual time is like 2:30. My schedule's great. But I got home, I'm sitting on a chair like 3 o'clock, something like that, and then I'm kind of watching it get a little bit dark outside, whatever. And then all of a sudden, all the sirens start going off in my house, like on my phone and my TV and everything, and it's all saying tornado warning. Tornadoes spotted in Parma. Now, Parma is like 10 minutes down the road from me.
Right.
And my wife and daughter were still out on the road somewhere. So I'm calling them, like, do you guys even know what's going on? They're like, no, we just stopped to get some McDonald's pop. You need anything? I'm like, dude, there's like a tornado like 10 minutes from the house. Would you like to get home, please?
Right.
And it got dark, but honestly, here in Broadview Heights, it rained, at least where I'm at in Broadview Heights, it rained pretty hard. The wind picked up, and then it was over. I mean, it really wasn't that big of a deal here. We never lost power. The cable was out for like 15 minutes or whatever. And we went out, enjoyed the rest of our night. It was kind of a pain in the ass driving around. Trying to get food was a pain in the dick, man.
I'll bet.
Like, we went to a Subway. They were completely out of food. He said, we have nothing else to serve. Because I guess, everybody around the area had lost power and they needed something to eat. So they all went to Subway. Arby's was out of roast beef, we went to Taco Bell. They said when we walked in to order as like the kiosk thing, because the line around the drive-thru is out the freaking street. And we went in and they said wait for food is like 30 minutes if you went inside. And so we ended up going to another restaurant, picked up food, and it was a 45-minute wait there.
Jeez.
But it was crazy, man. It was really nuts.
It was definitely nice. I know my mom still doesn't have power. She's out in Kent, and she's the last she was told earlier today was that she won't have power till at least 11 o'clock tomorrow night.
Wow. Yeah, my wife didn't have power at her bank where she works, so she had to go to a different branch. Get this, dude. Her bank told her, yeah, sorry. If you want to you can go home because your office is closed. But if you go home, you have to use a vacation day. It's their fault that the storm happened. But then my building at work was out, so the studios and everything at the radio station are running off of like a backup gas generator,
right?
Which was, I think, last time I heard, it was like a quarter tank left. Same thing with the transmitter. So they got to get some gas over there. And I wonder how many people are going to be able to watch tonight, because last I checked, when I left work today, I checked the outage map, and there's still 340,000 people without power.
Yeah, it's a ton of people don't have, and I notice our numbers are down, immediately because a lot of people don't have power. So all I can say to them is, what are you doing? Get out and sit in your car and plug it in and watch it on your phone. What are you doing?
Or we could just call it a day.
Oh, no, we are not calling it today. Not today. This is going to be one of those rare days that you've got me not you, but the government. I'll tell you where I'm at with this. I've watched so many videos today of what's going on that I think I've changed my stance on the whole upcoming election. Where, I mean, and everybody that watches this show knows regularly, I'm kind of live and let live. I really don't give a shit what you do, guy. Yeah. I really am. You care about issues a lot more than I do, and that's fine.
Right.
I generally don't. But after watching video after video after video today of this guy Walz, I am going to, for the first time maybe in my entire life, actively campaign for Donald Trump. I'm going to actively cheerlead a candidate. Not because I care about Donald Trump or J.D. Vance, but I cannot stomach this communist getting into our leadership
And literally, he is a communist. Like, he is a socialist. He is a communist. He is almost left of Bernie Sanders. That's how left.
Not almost, dude. Wait till you see some of these videos. Normally, I'll just pull the curtain back for a second before we get into this.
Yeah.
Normally, I have like 2 or 3 things that I have on a little link tree that I keep. In case you run out of stuff to talk about or whatever, because you generally lead where we go. And normally I have like 2 or 3 things, not many, but a few, just in case we run out of stuff. We could go to this or we can go to that. Today I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 videos with topics that we can talk about. And the reason I did it with videos is because I don't want people to think that we're talking out our ass.
Well, right. And that's what I hate sometimes. That, so many times I get into conversations, especially with people on the left, and I say to them, well, here's the facts. Here's what I got. Here's the, why I'm voting the way that I'm voting, or this is why I don't like this particular guy. This is why I don't like Kamala Harris, blah, 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 blah. And they don't believe me. They just call bullshit, and they say, whatever, I'm voting for, these guys because it's not Donald Trump. But it's nice to have some video proof, to back it up.
Absolutely. And we need it. And I have plenty of it here to talk about this fucking communist piece of shit, Walz.
Hey, hang on real quick. Power is on in Atlanta, so that's good. Thanks, Bob.
Good to know.
Somebody said in Euclid, Habu, streets still blocked by fallen trees in Euclid. Last night I heard on the radio the Euclid police said, do not go in or out of Euclid because it was so bad over there. Yeah, just stay where you're at. If you're standing on the side of the road, don't move. Yeah,
the whole town was pretty much taken out last night. It was crazy.
Megan Kelly says Walz is worse than Gavin Newsom. He absolutely is.
Well, let's just put it this way. We'll show some videos and you guys make your own decisions. How about that, Seth? Let's not make decisions for anybody.
Yeah, because I was going to actually start talking about them, and then now I think it's better to play the videos.
Yeah.
One by one, and we can react, right? Is that how
yeah, we can absolutely react. And I'm going to start with one. Since I called this guy a worthless piece of shit, and you just said, or a commenter just said, that he's worse than, who is he worse than? Gavin Newsom?
Gavin Newsom.
And Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders. Well, let's start there. Because in a Walz world, if you say that, you shouldn't be allowed to say that. This guy absolutely says point blank, you should not be allowed to have free speech. Not it should be quelled. You shouldn't be allowed to have it. If you say anything that he doesn't like, you shouldn't be allowed to have free speech. Listen to this clip. We'll start here. This is one of the more mild ones. All right, here we go.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Yes, there is, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, there is. Yes.
That is exactly what free speech is.
Yes.
Free speech is not about saying what you want to hear. It's about being allowed to say whatever you think and having your own agenda that does not necessarily jive with anybody else's. That is the genesis of free speech. Yeah. Listen to what this dick said one more time.
Not liking somebody is not a crime.
Yeah. But listen to what this dick has to say one more time. Listen to it carefully. I couldn't believe I was hearing this. He literally took the 2 most important points of free speech and said, you're not allowed to say that. You shouldn't be allowed to say that. Listen.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
What is misinformation? Explain that to me.
Well,
is a joke misinformation?
The left decides what's misinformation, whether it's a laptop with Hunter Biden or whether it's vaccine information that masks don't work or whatever it is. the left seems to decide what misinformation is, and they want to censor it and tell you what you can and can't believe.
If I say yesterday's storm was the worst storm in history, and you say yesterday's storm was just a regular storm, which one of us should be illegal? Which one of us should be illegal?
None of
Me
us.
or you? This guy, and as far as me saying that he's a dumb cocksucking cunt, that's my opinion of him. That is my opinion of him. I'm allowed to have an opinion of you.
Yes.
That isn't that you're an upstanding, fine citizen.
Don't you understand where we live now, Chris? This is the communist states of America.
I get it. I'm just not going to conform. I will not conform, which I never, ever am a cheerleader for a fucking candidate. But I'm cheerleading for whatever is not this guy. I am cheerleading for whatever is not this fucking guy.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I watch Fox News every day.
Mm-hmm.
I watch all these news channels. I flip back and forth sometimes
Sure.
to see what's going on. And Shapiro out of Pennsylvania, the governor of Pennsylvania.
I'm well aware of him.
Now, I heard him talk the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, holy shit, she's going to pick this guy, and this guy's going to help her win the presidency because he's sharp. He is well-spoken. He's very polished. He's definitely trying to change his tune to be a little bit more moderate, even going against his own people.
Yeah.
And so this guy's going to help her win. And sure as shit, she picks this guy who's a fucking nut job.
He is an absolute lunatic. So let's go just to last night. Did you see the when she introduced him? Did you see when she introduced him and her and him up on the podium cackling?
Yeah.
Were they drunk?
She always appears to be somewhat intoxicated, especially when she starts giggling. But yeah, play that.
I think they're both drunk. I think they are both drunk here. Watch this.
Good evening. Good evening.
What is this open mouth faggotry he's doing here? Watch him with the little hand clap and stuff. It's like, all right, queerbait, what are you doing?
Good evening. Good evening.
And what's he doing here? Is he doing a Biden sniff? Watch him. He's doing something behind her back. Is he doing the Biden sniff? Look. Is that the Biden sniff?
It looked like the Biden sniff to me.
Let's do it one more time. I want to make sure it's not just me making shit up. He looks like he's doing the Biden sniff. What the hell?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening.
Her voice makes me want to punch something.
Man, I'm telling you. This is gonna be something, man.
Do you remember in Jurassic Park when they found that skull and they were blowing through it to make the noise?
Yes.
That's what she sounds like. She's annoying as shit. This guy's sniffing her hair. He's doing the glad hands gay dance in behind her, mouth wide open, looking for a dick. What is this? This is our president and vice president to be? Are you kidding me?
New dance move. The Biden sniff.
The Biden sniff. I got us a Biden sniff again. Look at this fucking weirdo. And J.D. Vance is weird? I smell you. What the fuck? This is bad, man.
And freedom of speech is illegal.
I guess freedom of sniff is not illegal, though.
Okay, yes.
That's all right.
That's illegal.
All right, so this is them yesterday, but these are just the warm-ups I'm giving you, Seth. These are not the real good ones. Let's dig into this guy's fucking character, shall we?
Yes.
Let's tell you what you're getting if you vote for this fucking fine fella. Tim Walz, Governor Walz. What's he the governor of?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Well, one thing that Minnesotans are most proud of, I would imagine, is this bill that this guy voted into law or signed into law or whatever. Tim Walz signs law allowing pedophiles civil rights inclusion.
Okay, that's nice. There we go.
Civil right. He classifies pedophilia as a sexual orientation.
Well, don't you know, Chris?
Tampon Tim.
Yeah, he used Tampon Tim. I mean, you know that story, right?
Yeah, from Bongino.
He put tampons into boys' restrooms, like
Yes.
fourth grader or fifth grade boys' restrooms. He put tampons in them.
Yes. Well, that's hardly the worst.
I know.
He's looking to give civil rights to pedophiles.
I wonder if NAMBLA gives him money. Is that what goes on here?
They're a big PAC donor or whatever.
Super PAC NAMBLA.
Pedo PAC. The Pedo PAC is on, led by Tim Walz.
So civil rights inclusion for pedophiles. But
I ain't making it up, man.
You can't have free speech, but
you can fuck a 9-year-old.
Apparently, that's okay with it.
Yeah, well, they should have rights. They should have rights.
Well, I wonder what rights does that include? Does it include the right to have sex with children? I guess so, right? That's what it's all about.
Maybe the right to free Band-Aids for the little kids' assholes when they're done.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm extremely fired up about this shit, dude. Extremely angry about this. This guy should not be allowed within 10 miles of a city council meeting. Not, let alone the presidency or the vice presidency. Are you kidding me with this?
We're going to get to that too, Walker.
Well, yeah, I don't even have that. I'll leave that for you. I don't even have, because I know that's like the common stories. I was just trying to find some stuff that I had not heard on the news up to this point.
Absolutely, he is for the transitioning of young children to decide what sex they want to be. I mean, we're talking about a guy that, again, is left of Gavin Newsom and possibly left of Bernie Sanders. We're talking, forget about left. I hate even using the word left because there are a lot of people on the left that are somewhat normal. Right. I don't like their ideas per se, but they're at least somewhat normal people. This guy's not a normal person. No. There's a picture of him surrounded by children. Surrounded by children. He allows them and wants them to be able to choose their gender when they're of a toddler age. And then on top of that, he's for the killing of babies up to 9 months of age. There are actually records of abortions that were botched at 9 months, right?
Yeah.
And the kids survived, and yet there was no medical care given. They were basically tossed into the fucking garbage because by a piece of human shit like this. I hate people like this guy. He is a communist. He is a socialist. He is ridiculous.
Yeah, and they're trying to say that Vance is weird.
Right, Vance is weird.
Vance is weird.
Well, as a family. Okay. And believes in marriage and children and everything. Okay, right, Vance is weird.
Vance is a weirdo.
Holy shit. What have we come to in this country?
Well,
and the sad part is there's a real shot that these two fools get elected.
I know.
There's a real shot of this.
Absolutely.
And you know what? You know who I blame? And who and seriously, the demise of this country, I will put not on the fucking lefty weirdos who are going to vote for him, but on the people that, out of spite for Donald Trump alone, vote for this duo. Those are the people that I blame for the demise of this country. Because you know in your heart what's right. You're doing it out of spite, out of anger that you can't even explain. It's not like Donald Trump fucked your husband or your wife. Yeah. You are just pissed for whatever reason because you don't like mean tweets or you don't think he's presidential enough, whatever.
Or you've been told.
The demise of this country and the blood in this country is on your hands because I can't blame crazy leftos for voting because that's the way they are. I can blame you, though, when you know better and you're going to do it just out of spite.
or they've just been told what to do and they're blind and stupid.
And cheap. Yeah.
As I'll show right here. Look at, you know how on Monday we talked about you said you don't know where the message comes from. Clearly the message gets out there as far as the talking points for the day.
Oh yeah.
Well, I found a couple of great clips of the talking points getting out there for the day. So check this out. Here's a minute and 38. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the trouble and trying to get responsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own.
They're putting 30 fucking videos up here of them all saying the same thing. At the same cadence, the same everything. This is some mind control shit.
Well, that's what I've been saying. You don't have to be a Mensa person to figure this shit out.
No.
Dude. It goes out to all these media corporations, and if you believe this media now, then you are the people that are voting for Harrison and Walz, because you believe anything that you hear. And if the memo goes out to all these people saying the exact friggin' thing, that's what they're doing.
Well, we're showing you 30 different stations saying word for word the same thing.
Yes.
Word for word.
Just like every CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, they all came up with the same weird comments about Vance and Trump.
And notice this. NBC, Fox, ABC, it's all here.
But those are Fox locals, which can be...
Yeah, but...
which are not controlled by Fox Corporation in the sense that they are more liberal-leaning as well. Our Fox News station here is the same way.
But the point is, someone's getting the message out all the way to the local level.
Yes, all of them.
All of them. Here, I'll play a little more of this one before we go to the next one.
Bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Get the fuck out of here.
And the problem is there are these sheep out there that believe this stuff hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
I've been saying this for a long time, and a lot of people have, but you just watch, and it's the same shit that they just regurgitate on every single station.
Well, I'm going to start collecting these videos, and I'm going to show them every week if I have to make sure nobody that's watching this show, not that it's a big, large amount of people, it's not, but those 50, 100, 200, 300, whatever it is that are watching this show are going to be reminded weekly that this is going on, so that when you flip on your Fox News or Fox 8 or what's ours called? Fox 8?
Fox 8, yeah.
Fox 8, when you flip it on, you know you're just being force-fed a bag of shit that someone else has planned for you.
Channel 3, Channel 5, all of them.
All of them.
Bunch of garbage that they're all saying.
All parroting the same shit. So now here's today's version of it, talking about Walz and what a homegrown find he is, basically. You heard that, right? Coach Walz and all that other shit. So listen to these guys continually. It starts with the ultimate scumbags.
Oh, these are the scumbags.
The Morning Ho.
Oh man, these people are.
They're the worst, but.
Yep.
But watch this. This is another minute and a half just of everybody saying the same shit. They got the talking point memo probably at 3:00 this morning about Walz. So here's the talking points being spit back into your face if you're watching this shit. And you're probably gobbling it up like a shit sandwich that somebody told you was cotton candy. So here we go.
As Kamala Harris picks Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as running mate.
What does Walz bring to this?
He's cuddly.
And cuddly.
Cuddly. Cuddly?
I think she went for maybe a little more of a cuddly choice.
Tell us more about like the texture of the man.
He seems to almost have a twinkle in his eye.
Tim Walz is the opposite of weird.
Tim Walz beats America.
He sounds like, a football coach.
He is a hunter that you could visit with at the hardware store. In a dictionary, if you had weird and anti-weird, you'd have Tim Walz's picture there. I bet knows how to make a good hot dish casserole.
He's very down to earth.
That's his authenticity.
Authentic communicator.
The word joy came up a lot.
He's joyful.
He seems happy.
A happy-go-lucky warrior.
And he's happy and a happy warrior.
The joyful warrior.
He is one happy warrior.
A happy warrior.
The happy warrior.
Nice guy.
Good guy.
A very nice person.
Reliable.
Definitely affable.
He is an extremely affable individual.
Very affable, plain-speaking way, a folksy vibe.
This folksy idea.
Terrific vibe.
Vibes election.
Kind of a folksy guy.
The idea that Tim Walz is some lefty is just not true.
I don't think either of them are Bernie Sanders progressive.
A rather safe pick. I think a safe pick.
The safe choice. This is a do no harm pick. Do no harm.
He's just more of a vanilla pick.
It's a younger version of Joe Biden.
We got Brad Summer, we've got coconut tree memes.
There's joy in the Democratic Party right now.
Those outside of Pittsburgh loves Tim Walz. So talk about Walz.
Please send me that. That's the greatest.
This media. I mean, it's clear they got a bulletin that said, "Here's how you're going to promote Walz today. You're going to use words like cuddly, affable,
joy,
happy. Warrior. You're going to call him a happy warrior."
There has to. There's got to be a memo that goes out.
Has to be.
And so we got to somehow get a hold of the memo because they don't just come up with this.
No.
So it's fed to them and they're repeating it like they're supposed to, and they're probably getting paid something. But it's sad. It's disgusting. And the worst part is there's people out there that actually believe it.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna put this on the screen. Brian, you're wrong. I'm just going to say it point blank. You are wrong. The media and everything that is being spit at you is telling you that Trump is losing. He's not losing. He's not losing. He's not. I wish he was doing a little more right now. I will give you that piece. He got shot and now he's been quiet, and I get it. He's probably still a little weirded out about getting in front of people after taking a bullet to the head. I would be a little bit weird about it too, but he needs to get out there. And God bless J.D. Vance for doing it today. Did you see J.D. Vance right before the show walk up on Kamala's plane?
Yep.
Let's show that too, because this guy is balls of steel. I like Vance. I mean, this is a man, not some puss.
Don't you get disturbed a little bit though when you see all these news outlets saying the exact same thing? I mean, they're not even trying to hide it. You're not going to get 15 people to actually say the word cuddly.
No, of course not.
They're all, or a happy warrior, or joyful warrior. You're not going to get that many people to say the exact same thing. There's something going on. They're getting a memo. They're getting something.
They are, yeah. And to answer your question, Habu, absolutely not. If I called him cuddly, he'd have called me with his fist. He wouldn't have heard that. And let's ease back on the Command Sergeant Major talk for a minute as well, since this guy's a lying piece of shit on that front too, which really has me, as a former soldier, really not happy that this guy is a fucking stolen valor dick. But we'll get to that. Don't worry. All right, so here is the cackling camel showed up somewhere, and J.D. Vance showed up to challenge her face to face. And she, of course, didn't show up. Look at this. You saw this video?
I heard about it.
All right, watch this. He literally walks up on the tarmac. Look at this. Right there's the presidential plane. There's Air Force Two. And Vance is like, fuck you. I'll come right to you.
I figured I'd come by and one, just take a good look at the plane. Hopefully it's going to be my plane in a few months. But I also thought you guys might get lonely because the vice president doesn't answer questions from reporters and hasn't for 17 days. Have they given you guys an explanation for why she won't take questions from reporters? No? Nobody? Okay, great. Well, I hope that she changes her mind because it'd be good for the American people, and I think it'd be good for you all if she actually ran a real campaign instead of one from a basement with a teleprompter. So have a good one, guys. See ya.
He's the best.
He don't give a shit.
I'll tell you what, he's coming out of a shell a little bit, and that's good.
Yeah, well, but now, all right, I'm gonna throw my conspiracy hat on for a minute.
That's Trump-esque right there.
That is. It's very Trump-esque. But are they setting him up to get killed? Did you notice the security guard?
Yeah. What about him?
No, the girl.
Oh,
she looks very familiar. Look who it is that's now on the Vance detail. Look at who it is.
Hey, is that her?
It's I can't get my gun in my pocket,
Can't get
girl.
my gun.
Well, here's her and here's the gun girl. Are they the same person? I think they might be.
The left owned the media, literally. Huh?
I'm going to take this off the screen for a minute.
Yeah, that's her.
So, this faildozer that couldn't holster her goddamn weapon is now protecting J.D. Vance after the failed attempt to kill Donald Trump. Really? How is she not fired?
Well, how's the whole detail not fired? Everybody should have been fired that was there that day. But
yeah. This is insanity.
It is. But I will say, J.D. Vance fucking rocks going out there and doing something like that.
Oh, I love that he did it. I don't love that he's being protected by somebody that's proven a failure at their job of protecting people.
You think Trump set him up to do that? Like told him, you got to get out there and go do this?
Maybe. Could be. I'd like to know why Trump isn't out there absolutely pummeling Harris. Why is he not pummeling Harris and
well, the problem
Biden?
The problem I have with Trump right now is that I don't want him doing these personal attacks and calling her stupid.
No, I don't either, but
and going after the whole she's not black thing and all that. You know, go after the policy. She has enough shit that she is so terrible at. You don't need to go after that stuff. You need to go after the fact that she's just an awful, awful politician.
But how about this? Don't have to call her anything. How about just asking a simple question and asking it over and over again? And Vance should be doing this too. Why do we have a world war breaking out on the other side of the world, as well as economic disaster worldwide, and we don't have leadership one out there saying everything's okay or everything's not and it's going to be a bumpy ride? Or, you know, we got major things going on right now.
We just had troops attacked in Iraq.
Yeah.
You haven't heard anything about it. Nothing from the president. Nothing from the person running for president. Nothing. They haven't done anything. No response. They've done nothing.
Nothing at all.
This fucking idiot. I guess this guy's pissing people off. Good old Matthew Tyler. It's a great picture.
Whatever.
I like the sunglasses. The left owned the media. Literally, the most popular media has been Fox for decades. You're right. The most popular has been Fox because they're the truthful ones. CNN, MSNBC, all those, the ratings are in the toilet because they lie to people and they do shit like we just talked about, putting out the memos with the bullet points, and they all recite the same shit every day.
And Fox has been compromised for the last five or 6 years themselves.
So Matthew Tyler, suck a dick. There you go.
Why? Now, see, this is where you get in trouble. You're getting ready to argue back. Just blow it off. Who gives a fuck what? Who gives a fuck what that blip on your screen has to say to you? You're the one that's got the microphone. Who cares?
I understand.
You know, fuck that guy. That's all. And when he calls you a racist and a homophobe or whatever, say, yes, you're right. I am, by your standard. So eat a bag of dicks. Because I'm a homophobe, and I think that's a bad thing to eat a bag of dicks.
I am an ist. I hate anybody that's named Matthew Tyler.
There you go. A Tylerist.
I'm a Tylerist.
You're Tyler-phobe. Well,
what else we got?
Well, all the bad does not lead only to Governor Walz, because his wife is equally a scumbag. And it's rare that I would go on the wife attack, except for this one, because this wife opened her windows to enjoy the smell of Minneapolis burning.
Oh, I did hear this, yes. This is good.
What the fuck is going on here, man?
But also his wife, here she is talking about the 2020 riots for George Floyd and how fantastic they smelled.
I would say those first days, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires. And that was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
She enjoyed smelling her city burning to the ground.
This guy's something, man. This Walz, man. He let his entire city burn to the ground because a drug addict criminal died. By the way, he didn't die of being choked to death. He died because he had fentanyl in his system.
That's right.
And was a criminal and wouldn't get into the police car when they told him to. Watch the movie, The Fall of Minneapolis. It explains everything. Yeah. It's out there, Matthew. You probably can educate yourself a little bit. Watch something like that. Yeah. And you'll understand what actually happened. While this idiot of a governor sat there and watched his entire city burn to the ground. Police stations, people died. You want to talk about a January 6th? These people killed people. These people they've lost their minds, man.
I don't know.
They really have. I don't understand. I don't understand people that can honestly stomach the lies and bullshit that they put out there. I don't understand it. How can you vote for a guy who's in charge and let the cities burn to the ground while Kamala bailed out the criminals?
Yeah, well, there's that. You act like that's a bad thing. One commits the crimes and one bails them out. Seems reasonable. I'm for the Harris Walz ticket.
Matthew, I'm the only person who watches this show with a different opinion. I've never called anyone. I appreciate that. So I do appreciate you.
I don't. Watching. I'm a rude dick. Fuck you, cocksucker. What do you think of that?
I appreciate Matthew watching. I do appreciate a different opinion. I don't agree with his opinion even a little bit, but I do appreciate that. And I'm
the god with the microphone. You're the peon that is typing in the chat. Shut up, stupid.
No, I don't.
I am king.
I don't agree with that. So thank you for watching, even though I don't agree with it.
Turn it off. Go watch something else.
No,
that's what I say.
Don't do that, Matthew.
Go watch Sank and the Young Turks, faggot. What do you think of that?
Now you're just pushing it. No. I like a different opinion and seeing somebody disagree. I don't agree with him at all. If it's a him, I do. I don't know what these days. Matthew could be
It's ma'am.
Something else.
It's ma'am. I'm just teasing you, Matthew.
I do appreciate Matthew's opinions.
I'm just teasing. a little.
And I appreciate a good spirited discussion.
I know. I'm just
I'm
teasing.
trying to be rude. I'm just trying to tell him he's wrong.
I don't mind being rude, but
I know you don't.
In this case, I'm just busting balls. But all right. Well, speaking of busting balls, this had to be a joke.
I think Matthew got one of the tampons in 4th grade and was upset that it didn't work right.
Might be. From Tampon Tim.
Tampon Tim.
That's right. You're going to love this one because I don't know if you knew this or not.
I don't.
But apparently, J.D. Vance did not serve in the military.
Oh, really? Okay.
Here's another fine clip from another fine news organization, CNN.
Well, here is Tim Walz, who enlisted when he was 17 years old. He served in the National Guard for 24 years. And I'm not aware of any military service that J.D. Vance has ever served. So let's just make the comparison there. And what happened in the tragedy of the killing of George Floyd and then the unrest. Yeah, okay. Pardon me for that.
Oh, pardon me. How did I miss that?
Oops.
How did I miss that he served in the Marines and served in the war? Oh, how did I miss that?
Look, I got to give CNN credit at least. At least he corrected her because, usually they would let that slide by and there'd be dumbasses out there that go, yeah, J.D. Vance didn't serve in the military.
I think there's so much proof out there that he did that they almost had to. I don't think they had a whole lot of choice in that one.
You mean that picture of him in his Marine uniform?
Yeah. But, dude, listen to this again. How are you a guest? How are you a guest sharing opinion on the story is stolen valor and military service? How can you be a guest on that? The expert that they brought in to speak on military service, and you don't know that one of the whole number of 2 people that you're talking about, you don't know their service record. But you're the expert that they brought in for this. Let's play that one more time. This is, I literally spit out my iced tea when I heard this today. I was like, I don't know much about Vance. The most I know about Vance is that he served in the military and you met him. That's really all I know about Vance. But come on. I mean, this would be like if they brought me in to be an expert on a diet discussion. That would just be ridiculous. And this is equally, come on.
Well, here is Tim Walz, who enlisted when he was 17 years old. He served in the National Guard for 24 years. And I'm not aware of any military service that J.D. Vance has ever served. So let's just make the comparison there.
Okay, let's make the comparison there. You, as a spokesperson, are an idiot. There's my comparison. And even this dummy from CNN is better than you.
She's a senator?
I think Senator Tina Smith of Minnesota.
She doesn't know that another senator? Okay.
She doesn't know that the guy that's running for vice president that she's speaking about has military service.
The Marines, okay.
Are you kidding me?
I want to hear his reaction again. Or his.
I'll go back a little bit. It's unreal.
24 years. And I'm not aware of any military service that J.D. Vance has ever served. So let's just make the comparison there. And what happened in the tragedy of the killing of George Floyd and then the unrest. Yeah.
I don't think he knew either.
He wasn't arranged, but yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he knew. Watch he doesn't react when she says it. I think somebody says it in his ear and he spits it out. Watch, because there's a distinct delay between when she says this and when he says, well, no, he was in the Marines too. Watch.
So let's just make the comparison there. And what happened in the tragedy of the killing of George Floyd.
See, watch his facial reaction like somebody said in his ear and then he reacts to it.
There. And what happened in the tragedy of the killing of George Floyd and then the unrest. Yeah, okay. Pardon me for that.
Oh, okay. Pardon me for that.
It's so sad. It is really, really sad.
unbelievable, man.
Look, I mean, but again, I don't know what's worse: the media that's trying to get you to believe this stuff, or the people that actually do. I mean, look, I've met JD Vance and I've talked to him, and I know that he was in the Marines, and but if CNN tells you, there's people out there that will believe it.
Who am I going to believe? A podcaster or a senator from Minnesota?
Right. What's sad is that I actually know more than a senator from Minnesota.
That's what I'm saying.
Know more.
The one that probably got paid to be a commentator for CNN to talk about this Walz versus Vance.
And you and I, who do a fucking podcast.
Yeah, who can't raise $5 on fucking minds.
Right.
You know, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know, all right, so I don't have a story about this. Maybe you could share with me a little more than I know, but Camel Toe introduced Tampon Tim last night as Command Sergeant Major Walz.
Okay.
He's not a Command Sergeant Major.
No.
He did achieve that rank. I don't want to misspeak on this. So he did get, and for people that are not military, the ranks go, that's an enlisted rank, and they go in E's, like E1 would be a private, a lowest grade private. E9 would be a sergeant major or a command sergeant major, depending on if they had a command or not. That's how that works.
Yeah.
So he at one point made it to E9 command sergeant major. But something happened in there that he got taken down a stripe because he retired as a master sergeant, which is an E8. 3 up, 3 down, no star.
Right.
You know, that's what that is what a master sergeant is. But it's not a command sergeant major. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if you heard anything.
No.
But he retired as a master sergeant, an E8 from the National Guard or whatever. And that's admirable. I don't want to say it like I don't respect his service. I do. That's a lot more than I'd be willing to do. You know, I was willing to give him 5 years and made it up to Spec 4 promotable, you know, because I wouldn't go to PLDC. I just wasn't going to go to leadership training.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking, but it's tough to find anything anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the reason was, but the bottom line,
I know that he left, right?
He left. He retired as an E8, and the interviews that I've seen out there, which I should have had video of from his platoon, guys that were in the platoon with him, were when they got asked to go to Iraq. That's when he said, "Fuck that, I'm retiring." So he pushed out.
According to one of the veterans, it says that he retired from his 24-year tenure in the National Guard after learning that his battalion would be deployed to Iraq.
Yeah. So he's not a leader. He's a pussy.
Despite allegedly assuring his fellow troops that he would join them.
So he's a liar and a pussy.
Yeah,
and a stolen valor guy. Because you do not say, I'm a retired command sergeant major when you're not. If you got busted, you got busted. That what you ended with is what you were. It's that simple. What you ended with is what you were. His pension or whatever from 24 years is he's being paid as a master sergeant, not as a command sergeant major. That I know for a fact. That if he retired as a E8, he's being paid his pension as an E8, not a command sergeant major. And I know that probably doesn't mean anything to almost everybody that didn't serve, but I can promise you, anybody that served in the military, this is a huge deal. Stolen valor is as bad as being a pedophile to a military man. It really is. Yeah, stolen valor is awful.
He's not a good person. Matthew, I hope you're still there. I hope we didn't run you off.
Well, we did. We didn't.
But this guy is just we run over it. He's against free speech. He's not exactly the military man that they portray him to be.
Yeah.
He's a scumbag. Now, the reason that she chose him is pretty obvious. One, he's not Jewish, like Shapiro was, and even though he was the far better candidate for her, I think that I quite frankly was worried that she was going to pick Shapiro, and I'm happy she didn't because he was a very smart guy. But obviously, the anti-Semitism in the liberal progressive party got to her and said, "Don't do it." Now, this guy, from what I understand, Minnesota is there's a lot of pockets of Muslim groups up there.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think there are a lot of anti-Israel.
Oh, yeah.
And, I think that's what she wanted. She seems to be that way. I mean, I'm trying to, I don't want to accuse anybody.
She's pro-squad. She's definitely
pro-squad. One of which just lost her bid for re-election, by the way. Cori Bush. Thank God she's gone. I think she said some crazy shit. I don't know if
she did. I can look that up. I'll get to that in a minute, too.
But this guy was also picked because he is extremely pro-abortion. We're talking abortion, and I know how you feel about it. But abortion on demand, really up 9 months and beyond. I mean, if this guy had his way, I think toddlers would be able to be aborted.
This guy is just as far left as she could find of a pick.
Absolutely.
And she's pretty far left. I mean, her thing with
far.
I'm going to take guns the day I go into office. Fuck you will, you bitch.
Yeah, I mean, she is extreme. Now she's trying. Tony's going to be somewhere here in about 15 minutes. So we'll talk to him. She's trying to get rid of all these things that she said in the past when she was extremely far left to try to make herself appear more moderate. But, that's why I think Trump needs to start going on a record, go on against her record. She and this guy want illegals here. They want to give illegals free stuff. They want to give illegals citizenship. They want them to be able to vote. They want them to give them free college. They want to give illegals, millions of them.
They want to give them our country. They want to give them our country is what they want to do in exchange for their vote.
And if we elect these people, we got a headache.
Yeah, we do.
Look, and I've talked about this with Bob off the air, and he said it on the air. This is not hyperbole anymore. This is not like, this is a possibility. This is for real. This election is for real. The Republic is hanging in the balance this time around with these kind of people being in charge.
Yeah.
What they could possibly do to the fabric of our country, they could destroy it.
I agree. I don't know if this is true or not. Wouldn't shock me if it is. Wouldn't shock me if it isn't. But I don't think flunking out of Command Sergeant Major school would take a stripe off him, though. Because you could be a Sergeant Major without a command. I knew many of them. I knew many Sergeant Majors that were that didn't have a command and were not Command Sergeant Majors. But he did something to lose a stripe because he retired as an E8, not an E9. At least that's what I heard. Now, again, I don't know his military record. I'm not trying to be a newsman here.
I know he had a DUI at some point. I don't
he had a DUI as well. And that'll do, if he did that in the military, that'll take rank off you. As someone that got a DUI in the military, I can tell you quite honestly what they do to you there. They give you a choice of going to rehab or fucking losing a stripe and getting discharged. That's your choice.
I just want to get this straight from whether it's Matthew, if he's still listening, or any other leftists out there, or people that are just so angry with Trump for whatever reason. I just want to get this straight. So you have the most liberal woman ever, who basically got her job from being on her knees, running for president. You have a guy who doesn't believe in free speech, who wants illegals to come in and do whatever the hell they want to do, who believes
pedophilia is a choice,
believes in inclusion for pedophilia.
Yeah.
He gave tampons to children.
Enjoyed the smell of Minneapolis burning when it was on fire.
Yes, let his cities burn to the ground while people died and over a drug addict criminal who died of being a drug addict, then not because he was choked to death. So all these, but we want to elect these people over Donald Trump because we don't like mean tweets and he doesn't seem presidential enough.
Anything but
And he
Trump.
may have said grab her by the pussy when he was a multi-billionaire celebrity doing TV. Because
Anything
no
but
guy has
Trump.
ever said that before.
Never.
So
Never.
he's worse than Bill Clinton, who was getting his dick sucked in an Oval Office and sticking a cigar up a woman's vagina and had to pay hush money, oh, by the way, hundreds of thousands of dollars to numerous women for the things that he did. And Donald Trump is worse than this guy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand the logic here. I don't get it.
It's crazy.
Look, I've never said that Donald Trump is an angel. He's certainly not.
No.
But we survived 4 years of him to begin with, and that was with the left trying to destroy him. And now they're trying to put him in jail. We survived 4 years of Donald Trump. We could survive again. In fact, the country was better off if it wasn't for a pandemic that happened.
Allegedly. All right, I want to go
Even
back
if there
to
was a pandemic, you know what the left did? They took full advantage of it.
They took it well, as they do.
Sending out ballots to people that could just go ahead and vote for whatever. The whole thing is just ridiculous. And
I
now
agree.
you're afraid of Donald Trump, but these two are going to lead you to the promised land. Get the fuck out of here.
Go back to
Florida,
his.
and I'm going to
I
cut it
wanna
off
go back
the
to his-
country.
I'm going back to his service for a minute, because here's J.D. Vance having the balls to look right in the screen and call him on his fucking pathetic service.
What really bothers me about Tim Walz, as a Marine who served his country in uniform, when the United States Marine Corps, Wait
a minute, he served the Marines in uniform?
Not according to the senator from Minnesota.
I heard he didn't serve any military time.
Well, this is
About
all
Tim
on
Walz.
CNN. So.
Yeah, that's true.
As a Marine who served his country in uniform, when the United States Marine Corps, when the United States of America asked me to go to Iraq to serve my country, I did it. I did what they asked me to do it, and I did it honorably, and I'm very proud of that service. When Tim Walz was asked by his country to go to Iraq, you know what he did? He dropped out of the Army and allowed his unit to go without him, a fact that he's been criticized for aggressively by a lot of the people that he served with. I think it's shameful to prepare your unit to go to Iraq, to make a promise that you're going to follow through, and then to drop out right before you actually have. What really bothers me.
By the way, I just read 2 articles saying the exact same thing and quoting some of the vets that he was supposed to serve with.
Yeah.
And I also saw an interview with one of those vets as well. So,
And they're all saying that Waltz is a piece of shit.
a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a coward. He's an
Coward,
absolute coward.
and he's a fraud of a human, if you ask me. But
Yeah. Well, with all this going on, you would think that there'd be blowback on the Walz pick, right? And the Kamala pick and
Well, he's
everything
cuddly.
going on, right?
He's cuddly.
He's cuddly. Well, there's of course the celebrities have shown out to show their support for Kamala.
I'm sure.
And you're going to love this one of all. This is there's plenty of them you can go pick. There was an event called Comedians for Kamala,
Yes.
which was absolutely abysmal. They had a bunch of really D-list comedians. And then they had
Was Chiselka on the list?
No, I didn't see Chiselka, although he would have fit in perfectly with this. That would have definitely raised his profile, I guess. But this one of all of them was the most disturbing because A, this guy has built his whole acting career on pretending that he's a man's man, Republican man, like a man.
Uh-oh.
And B, his look and what he's doing is just so pathetic. So here it is. It's Nick Offerman
Really?
singing a new song for Kamala.
Damn it.
So we lose another one.
I lost another one.
Here we go. Check out this jewel.
When he mocked the disabled and war heroes, I looked the other way. He said to march on the Capitol, well, if the president says it's okay. And I don't mind sex with porn stars, I'd do it too if I had the guts.
Oh, it's the government froze me out.
This guy's a fucking moron.
Can you believe this? Nick Offerman. This is what his whole career has been built on. Why am I getting this now? What the hell? Anyway, so he sang this song about supporting Kamala. Is that
Is he getting any backlash? You know,
probably not. I mean, from who? The right doesn't fight back against celebrities like this.
I don't know. They do some of
Do
them
they?
on Twitter or X and stuff.
I don't think they do. Do they?
Yeah. The fight is actually a little bit better than I thought it would be against some of these guys like Jack Black and shitholes like that, Tommy Lee.
And I lost sound from you, Seth. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I do not have sound from you.
That's weird.
Well, let's do this. We'll go to a commercial, and we'll both reconnect into the room, and we'll see what happens. So hang tight, folks. We're going to play a spot, and then we will be back with more right here on the Seth Williams Show.
The Classic Metal Show and Chris Aiken Presents are proud to call Rumble our official video platform. No more being censored by fucking YouTube and other big tech platforms. All segments of The Classic Metal Show and Chris Aiken Presents are available now on our Rumble channel. Follow our channel at www.rumble.com/c/CMS. Want it on your TV? Just install the Rumble app on your Roku, Amazon, Apple devices, and most smart TVs. We have the other shitty platforms for the lazy people, but why watch it censored when you can see our shows the way they were meant to be presented? Subscribe at www.rumble.com/c/CMS or search The Classic Metal Show on the Rumble app. Let's go!
Hey everybody, it's Chris from the Classic Metal Show, and this segment of the CMS is brought to you by 1775coffee.com. It's time to say goodbye to Starbucks and say hello to Rumble's 1775 coffee. Unlike other brands, this is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. Visit 1775coffee.com, use the promo code STUDIO40, and get 40% off of any coffee subscription. The coffee comes in medium and dark roasts. It also comes in peaberry, which is similar to Kona coffee. In other words, this stuff is premium. Click the link in the description and you can go directly to 1775coffee.com, use the promo code STUDIO20, and get 40% off your coffee today. Go get it, people. Yeah, he's just an idiot.
But sad part is, I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was going to.
I didn't either. That's why I was saying we lost him today. But I again, he's probably always been this way, but he pretends to be a Republican. His act is to be a Republican, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, here's his song one more time. This is the Nick Offerman song.
The disabled and war heroes, I looked the other way. He said to march on the Capitol, well, if the president says it's okay. And I don't mind sex with porn stars, I'd do it too if I had the guts. But when it comes to f***ing the furniture, well, that's just f***ing nuts.
So,
what's he talking about?
Apparently, he's pro fucking anything, like trans and whatever, but fucking anything. What he's saying is Trump should be forgiven for fucking porn stars, but people that fuck furniture, that's his words, should be castigated as bad.
Well,
he's making fun of that.
Well, there was a fake story out there. This is what I'm wondering if he was talking about. There was a fake story out there that J.D. Vance put in his book or something like that he fucked a couch when he was younger or something like that. But
that's probably what he's talking about.
It came out as that the AP ran with this story that was fake. It wasn't true. Yeah. Like somebody just made it up.
Stuff isn't true.
Somebody made it up, and then they put. Of course, you know how they do this. these newspapers and all these, media outlets run with the story. And then on page 13, 3 days later, they run an apology saying, "Oh, sorry, we were wrong. It didn't actually happen."
Well, dude,
this guy's a fucking moron is what it comes down to.
How long has it been dispelled, the whole thing about making fun of the service members and the handicaps?
Yeah, and
that's all been disproven, but they still run with
and everything
it.
else.
Yeah.
They lie.
They just lie. They run with it. All right, here's
I know
more
people that were in the media back in the day, and oh shit, the media can't do anything wrong. You tell them that the media is lying to you, forget about it. They'll never talk to you again. They're liars.
Yeah.
And this is one of the fools that believes it.
They are. I get you. All right, here we go. Here's more of the Nick Offerman song.
Look, I've had sex with a pillow and furniture. Okay, because I didn't have my early teens were kind of bleak. So I had to do what I had to do. I'm not ashamed to admit it. That's a true story.
Yeah.
It wasn't true. He can write a song about me if he wants.
We'll take that. All right, here's more of the Nick Offerman song.
Oh, we're proud, Dad.
So I'm proud to be a Kamala man who has quit the GOP.
Yeah.
Cause I just can't abide a man who's tried for 34 felonies. And it's time to stand up and face the fact that the men that I once cheered are a bunch of wingnut white nationalists. Well, those guys are fucking weird.
He got the memo.
Yeah, he got it.
Well, I bought me a Trump Bible, cause like me, he's a man of God. But when he rants about sharks and batteries, I find that doddering old man kind of odd.
This coming from a guy who has...
These guys are just weird. That's who they are. Don't give them...
Hold on. There we go.
This coming from a guy who has hair coming out of the side of his face and looks like a fucking serial killer.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
supposed to believe that guy.
Yeah, that guy has... He's the smart one.
He lost all credibility. So, not that he had much to begin with. He was on Parks and Rec.
Yeah. He was good on Parks and Rec. But what a
That
dick.
show is full of liberals.
What a dick, this guy. Oh, my God.
Seth Williams loves this land, stands tall and proud. Believes in freedom, speaks his mind out loud. Mentored by Trip, he learned to be tough. Life knocked him down, but he got back up. Lost a leg, but he's still strong and true. Chasing dreams under skies of red, white, and blue. Voting for Trump, he shouts it clear. WTAM tried to bring him down, but he's still here. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air. Hates LeBron James, won't wear that crown. Prefers hard work and blue jeans in this town. Radio waves try to shut him up, but Seth keeps singing, filling that cup. From the small town streets to the mountain high, Seth sees the flag waving, reaching for the sky. He keeps on fighting with a rebel yell, for every fallen soldier and the stories they tell. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air. From the small town streets to the mountain high, Seth sees the flag waving, reaching for the sky. He keeps on fighting with a rebel yell, for every fallen soldier and the stories they tell. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air.
Seth and Chris don't say it enough, but the best place for everything associated with the Seth Williams Show is their website, www.thesethwilliamsshow.com. You can watch all live episodes of the show live right there on the site. You can get past shows in both audio and video on demand formats. You can join our exclusive VIP programs on Minds and Super Chat right from the page. You can also purchase all the best Seth Show merchandise on the page as well. Bookmark it today, www.thesethwilliamsshow.com.
This episode of the CMS Network is brought to you by our sponsor, Blackout Coffee. If you are a coffee lover, you will love what they are selling over at Blackout Coffee. Make sure you get yourself some. The only thing woke about this company is the drinker of the coffee, because it gives you quite a jolt. I am a personal fan of the Brutal Awakening Dark Roast, but everybody's a little bit different. Make sure you get what is your favorite today. Go to blackoutcoffee.com. Use the promo code CHRIA20 to save 20% on your first order. It's that simple. So one more time, blackoutcoffee.com. That is the link, or use the full link if you're going to shop around. That is scrolling on the bottom, and get yourself some of the best coffee that is out there today. blackoutcoffee.com.